Good Friday morning. This is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for this Friday, January 20th. Taking a look at recent precipitation, past 7 days on the left and past 14 days on the right, you can see extremely heavy precipitation amounts in most areas, perhaps the exception up in the Arizona Strip region. But overall, even in the past 7 days, the Sierra Front's been getting hammered with light precipitation continuing across most of the Great Basin, high humidity throughout, increasing snowpacks. So large-scale broadcast burns, especially above the snow line, may not be doable. We may be more in a pile burn type situation for the immediate future. So looking here at our infrared satellite imagery with upper level maps superimposed, we see that a series of weak low pressure systems have been tracking across the area, a bigger one off the coast. You can see the clouds leaving one part of the Great Basin, another batch of clouds coming in across California. So this will keep the stormy pattern going across the area through today and into the weekend as well. So looking at large-scale weather conditions, starting this afternoon on the left-hand side, you can see lots of green on the map. That's lots of cloud cover, mid-level humidity through the whole area in association with deep low pressure off the Pacific Northwest coast, increasing winds, increasing precipitation again. On the right-hand side, our best ventilation indices are in southern areas. The reason for these lower indices here, which is a combination of mixing heights and transport winds, is due mostly to the cloud cover still enforcing some inversions. But overall, this kind of a pattern tends to break things up a little bit. And if we break it down to its components, you can see the increasing transport winds here coming out of the southwest. These purplish shades you see here, we're seeing transport flow of anywhere from 25 to 40 miles per hour in some of these enhanced areas. And vertical mixing overall improving, especially across western areas, staying a little bit on the lower side in those purplish shades closer to the ground in the east, but that'll be shifting as the storm system moves inland. Looking for tomorrow, Saturday, a break in the system, still some lingering clouds and moisture here across the Great Basin. And again, best overall ventilation indices will be across our southern areas. Again, very strong transport winds here on the left, especially those enhanced areas of purple, which gusts of close to 40. And overall mixing heights also improving quite a bit, especially across Nevada. Still some lower pockets across parts of northwestern Utah. And then on Sunday, the next storm system comes in. Lots of this dark shading through here is increased clouds and moisture. Ventilation indices, again, mainly because of the cloud cover not helping the sun to heat up the ground to cause lots of vertical mixing. But again, we do notice that there is good vertical mixing here in these areas of yellow and orange across Nevada, especially lower across Utah. But even in Utah, the transport winds might more than make up for some of that, except in the deeper valleys where there will be inversions. Otherwise, very strong southerly winds across most of the area. Taking a look locally at Utah, the clearing index as we go through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the reddish to orange colors are the better conditions, and you can see that conditions actually improve on Sunday across most areas, but some lower pockets across northwest Utah and out towards the Vernal area. Let's take a look at precipitation, 3-day totals from Friday morning through Monday morning. And again, just about everyone sees significant precipitation. The first shade of blue is anywhere from about a half inch to these light blue areas are about an inch and a half, and of course higher amounts across the Sierra. So looking further down the road towards Monday, on the left-hand side, you can see that next storm system plowing into the west coast of California. Lots of moisture across the Great Basin. We do start to see some improvement in our overall ventilation indices. Yellow to white indicates a good overall dispersion, both vertically and horizontally. Then if we take a look at Tuesday, still lingering storminess across most of the area, starting to dry out a bit towards the California border. You can see in the vicinity of low pressure very good ventilation indices. Areas in the white indicate basically great conditions. Even in the yellow, we see much less of that purple and red. On Wednesday, we see drier air given by these tannish shades moving in at the mid-levels. That means across western Nevada, they could see a fair amount of sun as well into parts of Idaho as well. Lingering clouds and precipitation across central and eastern portions of Utah. The ventilation indices on the right-hand side. And as we get into Thursday, high pressure starts building in across the west coast into a good portion of the Great Basin with drier conditions. But with that high pressure, we see that area in the purple and into the red expand. So the ventilation indices start decreasing. We could start seeing longer durations of morning inversions, especially in the deeper canyons. Looking at precipitation from Monday morning through Wednesday morning, still moderate amounts. That dark shade of green is about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and even some pockets of locally higher amounts across the Wasatch Front and down into the Arizona Strip. So overall, for the next 5 days, just about everyone gets significant wetting rains and snows. However, the 8 to 14-day outlook as we go from January 27th down into February 2nd, even though we will be cooler than normal in terms of temperatures, we do see that the storm track itself and the moisture should not be affecting much of the region. So we could see a drying trend, possibly bringing some better burning conditions to parts of the area. This concludes our briefing. Our next briefing will be coming up this next Monday morning. Have a great day.